What's up, guys? Happy New Year! I hope 2021 brings you a lot of wealth, happiness, and success, and it becomes the absolute best year of your life. Well, in today's video, I want to talk about the recent experience that I had at a coffee shop, the worstest coffee shop I have ever been to. Alright, so this was on the 31st December at about 6 p.m. I go to McDonald's. It was my sort of a cheat day. I'm on keto diet, so I was taking a cheat day. I thought, hey, let's go to McDonald's, have my favorite coffee, which is cafe latte. I go there. It's really crowded as expected, 31st December, but the customer service exceptional. So I have my favorite cafe latte there, and I spend some time there. And Sandy and me decide to go out and go home. Probably go for a drive and then go back home. As we step out in the mall, we see there's another coffee shop. Now it looked beautiful from outside. It was a huge space. They had seats outside and inside, smoking and non-smoking zone. So we decided, hey, you know what? We haven't ever been to this coffee shop. Let's just go check it out. We've seen it a lot of times. It looks very appealing. So we step inside the coffee shop. Now, surprisingly, it's a huge space. There's nobody inside, right? Just three people at the counter, but nobody at the door. And as soon as we open the door, we step in. The three people behind the counter are all busy talking to themselves. They look at us and then they get back to talking as if there's nobody there and nobody entered the coffee shop and they don't care, right? We were the only customers there. If that was my coffee shop, I would be like, hey, finally there's a customer. Let me do my best to make the customers happy and give them the best experience, because come on, it's New Year's time. So there was no smile, there was hardly any acknowledgement, and they didn't even check back and ask any questions. So we just went there. I went to the counter. Sandy selected a seat, and I asked them for the menu card, and we were like, pretty okay, I used the menu, and then that's about it. Again, after giving the menu card, we had sort of an eye contact. You could sense that one of them was not even wearing a mask, so you could sense that, but still there was no kind of smiles exchanged or no happy warmth feeling that, hey, we are glad you are here. It just felt like, oh shit, there's a customer here and we may have to work, right? So I take the menu, I go back, I sit, Sandy and I decide what we want to have, and in the meantime they are back to their chatter. The guy is singing a song, and there are a couple of girls behind the counter who were chatting and talking about and bitching about some other people. I was like, oh my god, So you see, it was a huge space. I am sure that the owner who owns the coffee shop is probably paying about 2.5 lakh rupees in rent if he's renting the place, and if it's his place, he's lucky. But if he's renting it, he's spending at least that much in rent per month, and he's paying these people's salary who aren't really interested in having customers and who are ruining the customer experience and actually repelling customers from not ever coming again. I am never going to go to that coffee shop ever again. Right? I would go to McDonald's 1,000 times, but that coffee shop is not going to get a single buck from me. So see, there's so many flaws in the entire scheme of the business. One, I think the owner hasn't really trained or taken the time to train the staff. Bad ownership, right? If you're the business owner, you have to make sure your staff is taking care of your customers. You need to give them processes. If I was owning the coffee shop, I would have had one person greet somebody who, as soon as they enter the door, have a big smile, say Happy New Year, welcome, how are you doing? That's typically at every McDonald's I go to, right? They ask that, how are you, Happy New Year, and welcome back. So it's such these simple things, but they make the experience so much better. And number two, again, when we ordered the food was horrible, right? The worst sandwich I must have eaten in a while. So the overall experience. And then we had some guy who was training in between while we were having no customers, no other people came into the coffee shop while we were there. And then there was this other guy who came in and was training the girls behind the counter on how to make coffee. So then I go to them and I say, hey, can I get the check? And they're like, yeah, one sec. They're like, yeah, one sec. Like, okay. And then I just pay, and then again, while leaving, you would normally expect, somebody leaving your coffee shop to get the customer back, you would have something like, hey, hope you had a great experience, happy new year. Okay, yeah, that's it. Right, so horrible business, horrible staff, horrible entrepreneur, and this business, I'm sure, would be shut in the next 3 months. Right, in economy like the one that we have today, where there's this business is really crunched, and especially if you're in the restaurant, cafe industry, food industry, where the walk-ins are as it is going to be really low, I think I would have done everything in my power to retain the customer, give them a good experience, and get the customer coming back. This is why businesses die. Number one, bad entrepreneurs. People think that, I have the money, let's just open something and things would run on their own. Do not train the staff, do not have processes in place, and that's the fate of the business. It's just going to be out of business in no time, which is what would happen to this coffee shop. And this is why I feel people who come from money, whose parents have money, or who just inherit cash, are really, really bad entrepreneurs. I'm not saying it's not a generalized statement, but majority of these businesses are run by people who come from money, and because they haven't really made or taken the effort to earn that money, they inherited that money. That's why they are so reckless in the business and they don't care. And I'm sure if this was somebody who did not come from money and who had spent his time, energy, and effort to earn that money and then started the business, he would have been there taking care of each and every customer just to make sure that they have a great experience and the customers come back. So yeah, this is a lesson. If you're running a business, make sure you are really focused on your business and creating that great experience and training your staff, and then having processes, and then lastly making sure that the processes are adhered to. I hope this experience is a lesson to every budding entrepreneur out there on how to grow their business and what to take care of and what not to neglect. Well, this is me, Karan Dharamsi, signing off for today. I hope you guys have a great year. Take care. Bye-bye.